What's up, everybody? It's your boy Amir, Houston, Texas. We now tapped in with the buzz. Let's see what kind of questions they got up in here, man. All right. What's something outside of music that inspires your writing? Pretty much anything not considered music would help inspire what I write down. Yeah, I base my music on a lot of real life experiences, be it mine or people that I know or people that I observe. So, pretty much anything outside of the music spectrum is going to help influence, things I do day to day, cultural events, uh, just pretty much anything. I'm good at utilizing my environment and emotions that get projected out to help convey a message in the music that I create. So I think yeah, I'm pretty versatile in that, and so I can use anything to inspire my music. All right. If rap didn't exist, what would you be doing with your life? I'd probably be doing something pretty hands-on with computers, either be IT work. Uh, I'd probably be heavy into AI right now, coding, something like that. Maybe even game design, or possibly even like doing some film because I'm a real creative person. So just finding a way to bring a vision to life is something that I like aspire to do quite often. So I think I'd probably be in either one of those fields if music did not exist. All right, what else we got? Go to the bottom. What's a song or artist you listen to that fans would never guess? Vampire Empire. I don't know who the artist is. I can't remember their name, but yeah, you definitely wouldn't know that I'd be jamming Vampire Empire. But it's a great song. I don't know why I like the song. I don't even know how I found the song, but yeah, it ended up on my title playlist one day, and I saved it. And yeah, shout out to whoever made Vampire Empire. All right. What non-rap genres influence your sound or flow? R&B, jazz. Mm, I would say those would probably be the main two outside of rap that help kind of influence my cadence and flow just because of how they approach certain songs and the way that they drag out their words. They don't use a lot of words to convey their message. So I kind of try to use that and implement that. Being a natural born rapper, I tend to overspeak and overwrite. So definitely lean into listening to R&B more to kind of slow my cadence down, slow my flow down, and I think yeah, it's a pretty big influence for me. The sound of my flow. All right. What's the craziest lie you ever told? Mm, that's a crazy question to come at me with. I thought these were all music related. Craziest lie I ever told was probably not the lie itself, but maybe the circumstance surrounding the lie. Uh, yeah, I had somebody trying to like marry me when I was like 18 years old, and her father was trying to give me a brand new house, and yeah, I made up some bogus story that I had to get deployed in the military and couldn't do it, and so maybe not the craziest lie, but definitely the craziest scenario that I had to lie for. So, all right. What's your biggest weakness? I would say my biggest weakness is probably like my level of acceptance. Like I'm cool with just letting shit go or letting things be, and so I feel like if I didn't do that as much, I'd probably be further on in life in a lot of different areas instead of just accepting what came to me or accepting it as for what it was presented to be. And so I think that, yeah, definitely my acceptance level of intolerance, I guess you could say, is a good way to put it. So one of my biggest weaknesses. All right, let's mix it up a little bit. What's the difference between writing a rap verse and a regular song? If for me personally, I think a rap verse you can easily just kind of go in there and get away with rhyming and playing with little schemes and it doesn't really need to necessarily be a cohesive thought or event, emotion, whatever it is that you're conveying. I think with an actual song, you're more focused on trying to either tell a story or you're trying to convey a message. This fly is killing me. You're trying to convey a message of emotion or feeling that can be recaptured easily. And so I think that takes a little more energy and effort probably to maintain that cohesiveness versus a rap song where, like I said, I feel like you can kind of get away with more gimmicks and skill and it still sound like a good product compared to just a song that you can't just, write anything about. All right. Do you see yourself as a conscious rapper? No, but a lot of people would probably say I would lean more that way just because of like the sound that I have, the tonality that I have, which is understandable. I don't really have like the typical mainstream sound and flow, so I get kind of compared to a lot of bigger underground artists and those conscious spitters, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, whoever you want to call it. And so you know, the people would probably say yeah, but me personally, I don't feel like I get too deep into talking about pyramids and equations and crop circles and the Negro lights. I kind of keep it, I keep it vibey for the most part. I might drop a gem here or there, but I don't try to get too political with the music. How does your hometown support or influence your grind today? My hometown's biggest influence on my grind would be, mm, I don't know, that's a hard one. I'm from San Diego, so when I was in San Diego, it for me at the time there was a lot going on, so uh, yeah, just a different vibe and culture out there. Not anything kind of like how Texas operates or Houston for that matter or Dallas, but I wouldn't say it has a huge influence on my grind. Maybe it's like my sound. I kind of keep a West Coast vibe going, but as far as like the day to day grind that I do, I don't think like my hometown has any influence on that. I was gonna grind the same level that I grind, no matter where I came from, be it that a little or a lot. All right, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. What's the most important thing a rapper should keep in mind? Mm, that one out of every nine songs might be good. I don't see people following that rule at all. And so they get out there and they record a song or they record a music video, they do anything that they do, and they just automatically think that it's a hit record or it's the one, it deserves X, Y, and Z. And a lot of times that's not the case. And so, you know, I don't know where I heard that from, but yeah, somebody, that I would like to think was a little bit more educated than me on the subject was like, yeah, one out of every nine songs is might be good, not even amazing, might be a good. And so you got to have a lot of work. You got to have a big catalog. You got to have a lot of experience. There's a lot of rappers who try to get out there and do a lot more than what they're really ready for. And hindsight is always 2020, but I think that if more people kept that in mind, if that was more of a standard that was set, we'd increase the quality and cut through a lot of the mud. All right, two more. Have you ever been arrested? Yes, multiple times. Nationwide warrant out for my arrest when I went AWOL from the military. I had private investigators out after me. It was crazy. 96 days on the run. What's your process for coming up with punchlines? I'll let y'all in on a little gem. Lil Wayne's my favorite rapper. I think he's got the best punchlines. I think the way he comes up with things to metaphorically connect is amazing because there's only so much you can say. You know what I mean? At some point, you're going to say the same thing somebody else said. And so it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And so I think he finds real creative ways to accomplish that. And I think that comes from having a strong vocabulary. And so for me, I just read a lot. And so be it a book, a poem, fiction, nonfiction, you know, a news article, whatever the case may be, I just like to read a lot. I'll read the dictionary. I have a thesaurus that I read. And so I think that helps a lot with me getting a better understanding of what words I can use and play with. And then this opens up the venue for, you know, my rhyme schemes and being able to use different words to say punchlines that actually make sense and fit within the song because I have a bigger repertoire of words to pull from. So, yeah, that for me will be my last one. It's your boy Amir. Again, we here, Houston, Texas, H-Town Jamz. We out.